Hello and welcome to Goa 365's Face to Face. Now this program comes not as a part of the assembly elections or the polls which is over and counting is going to happen in a few days, but after post poll what's going to happen. And with me is Clyde Crasto. He is the Goa in charge and observer from the NCP. In fact, just appointed on the 28th of the month. Welcome, Clyde, to our
Thank
show.
you. Thank you for having me.
Clyde is also a spokesman of the NCP based in Mumbai, obviously. And Clyde, tell us something about what you guys are planning on doing, because there was not much of a presence, at least in my opinion, of the NCP in the run-up, and in your only MLA, he jumped to TMC. So what exactly?
Well, I guess, in the past there have been instances like that, but we've always been very strong in Goa. Okay. I mean, you are a senior journalist and you know about the background of every political party here, but we've had, a sizable amount of MLAs, and we've had ministers in the earlier governments. And yes, in 2017, in the whole of India knows exactly what happened. How the BJP turned the tables around. I mean, that's their forte. I mean, BJP, if they're going to claim that they've won too many states, let's put it this way, they've resorted to trickery and chicanery to get to the government. So their idea of forming a government is to actually do horse trading and trick people, and that's how they've been working. So leaving that aside, talking about the future of NCP, well, we are looking positive. Okay. One of the things that we did was, I was just in a press conference a little while before I came here, and people were asking me, like, NCP, how come it's launching? Elections are over. Elections is part of the process, okay? But work has to continue.
Absolutely.
Whether you win or you lose, you have to continue working. And by launching our social media platform today, this is the way that we are trying to connect more to the people. Our tagline is, let's get connected, to socialize better with you. See, this is the time of information technology. This is the time where every individual today has a mobile phone, or has a tab, or has a laptop or a computer in their home, and everybody is on a social media platform.
Absolutely.
Right? So physically, it's not always possible to be with somebody. So what do you do next? What you do is you connect through them in a digital medium, and this digital medium of social media is where we have now started off, where we're going to connect to people. They can connect with us, we can understand what they want, and yes, at the end of the day, the practical approach will always be there. So once we know what they need, what we can connect to, we'll go and connect with them individually. So that's the moot point that we are working on, is to connect people in a better way.
Especially given that today social media is the thing, especially if you want to connect with the youth, you have to be,
yes.
Your presence should be strong on social media. Yes. And that the newer parties, even the BJP and all, they're very, but that is, makes sense, it makes perfect sense what you guys are trying to do in Goa. But what I'm saying is, at least I personally found it a little surprising, because the NCP, I totally agree with you, was a power in Goa during the time when Dr. Willie and all these guys were there. They were very powerful politicians. Then they had made, and Sharad Pawar used to come. He comes very often to Goa, and Praful Patel and all that. So you all had a very powerful presence. But then slowly, I don't know, did Goa move away from the NCP?
No, it's not like that, Glenn.
Or was it just a coincidence?
See, Glenn, what happens is, change is a process of life.
Correct.
I mean, I may sound very philosophical, politician yes. Sounding philosophical. It's strange, but that's the reality of life. True. Let me give an example. Okay, BJP had 2 parliamentarians.
Yes.
Today, look at the numbers.
Correct.
So change happens. Ups and downs in every political parties happen, but that you cannot write off a political party. You can never write off. I mean, when we go on debates, people talk about Congress is finished and written off. No, it doesn't work that way. From where the BJP started, to look at the states that they're losing in the country. Nobody's invincible, okay, and everybody has their time. So sometimes ups and downs happen, but we are here. We are the constant. We are doing things, and things will improve. What we are doing today is another step towards betterment of the party. And party will go forward, look at the people. See, I've been saying this categorically in the interviews that I've been doing, the difference between a BJP and our party is, every time they said, oh, we are the ruling government, we ruled this state for 5 years. Why are you ruling? You are serving the people. You have to serve the people. We are here to serve the people. There's a difference, ruling and governance. You need to govern a government, you need to govern the people. That's how you need to work. So we are here to govern, to help people, to serve the people, and this is the way of doing it. So I understand when you're saying that, you know, good days were there, and, you know, then suddenly when, yeah, well, these things happen.
Not just good, powerful. They were very powerful leaders, and lot of effort was being put in.
I understand. You know, sometimes things have their own time. It goes up and down. Things happen, but we are still concentrating. The fact that I'm here today and I'm doing what I'm doing is because the party is interested in doing. They are interested in serving the people of Goa. And Honorable Sharad Pawar Sahab is constantly, I mean, at his age, he is still serving the people. He is our inspiration. And he has taught us to serve the people, and that's what we are doing. And I want to assure the people of Goa that the NCP, the Nationalist Congress Party, is there to serve them, is there to look into their problems, is there to help them with whatever the issues they have in life or problems. But, I mean, you know, now that I'm talking, it's definitely not an election speech because there's no election now, right? So, despite, that's the fact, that despite not having elections around the corner or elections over, still I'm telling you, I'm telling the people of Goa, tell us what your problems are. We'll try our best. We are not superhuman beings, we are not invincibles, but we can try our best, give our 100% to try and help you. And that's why we are developing this party further in Goa to help the people of Goa.
Now, just to juxtapose, you know, I'm moving on. I'm not going to let you off so easily on this point. Now, just to juxtapose, in Maharashtra, you guys are extremely powerful because we know, like, obviously most Goans go around in even in rural areas, especially rural areas, very, very powerful. The NCP is, but possibly, is it possibly that you'll have a lot of work in Goa because that strength, basic grassroots strength, maybe there, may not be there, I don't know, but it doesn't show, and it didn't show in the past election. So, lot of work, you think?
There's a lot of work even in Maharashtra. Okay. Like you said, we are powerful in Maharashtra,
especially rural areas.
In rural areas, we are powerful, but there also we have to do a lot of work. No party can grow or become big if they do not do work, and that's what we need to do anywhere. See, let us put it this way: if you score a century, people are expecting you to score another century or another match. So it's as difficult. And if you are scoring less runs somewhere, people want you to score. So this is a constant thing. You have to keep working hard and be assured. You know, I keep saying this. I want to assure the people of Goa that we are here to work for them, and we'll work hard. We'll work to the best of our abilities, and that's what we'll do.
You'll have a track record because this government, despite what anybody else might say, this government in Maharashtra has worked basically, whatever it might be under. So you are now looking about, yes, you are, as a party you don't have elections. I mean, you don't have elections coming up. I think the closest would be the Lok Sabha, that is, you know, 1 or 2 seats. But the Panchayat elections are coming up in a couple of months. So now would the NCP use that as a sort of an exercise to revamp, to revitalize, to move its people into the grassroots, to get them to start, you know, making a noise?
Every election is important.
Yes.
Be it Panchayat or be it Lok Sabha. It is important. Why? At the end of the day, it's the same voter who's voting everywhere.
Absolutely. Yes.
So a voter voting for the Panchayat election has the same problem, and the same voter voting for a Lok Sabha election will also have the same issues. So to get the votes, now why do you work? You work so you get votes, and why do you take the votes? So that when you are in a better position to govern the people, to help them with governance, that's why you work hard for. So I think whether it's a Panchayat election or Lok Sabha, our cadre, our party has to go right down to the grassroots level and to work and win the trust and the faith of the people of Goa.
You all have already started building up that.
See, like you know, in a Panchayat election, you cannot contest as a party, isn't that? That's how the formation works. So, but our people will be working there, and then move on to, you know, the Vidhan Sabha, the Zilla Parishads, and the councils, and, you know, the Lok Sabha. So it works that way. So we are there working at the grassroots level.
Like, I want a little bit of a background. You said that you are from professional interiors. How do you get into politics? Like,
well, I got into politics because, you know, it's like as a child probably I woke up to listening to politics because my father, Clyde Crasto, he was a municipal councillor in Mumbai, in the Malabar Hill Barnanga constituency, and then he was the chairman of the Works Committee City of the Bombay Municipal Corporation. So probably, you know, it was there right in my face and right in my ears that every day I would learn about politics. And then over a period of time, I decided to tread my own path. You know, I mean, I didn't want to...
He was a NCP man?
No, he was a congressman. He was with the Congress. And I mean, he, very popular, very known name. And then probably, you know, being his son, I thought, well, I need to tread my own path, find my own name. And then I decided to move to the NCP because I was very, very inspired by Mr. Sharad Pawar. Sharad Pawar Saab inspired me because I was following him, his work and everything. So naturally with that mindset, the next party for me to, you know, kind of tread my own path was the NCP. So I joined the NCP, and I'm very grateful to Honorable Pawar Saab that he gave me this opportunity, and then people like Praful Patel Saab, Supriya Suletai, and then, you know, people like Mr. Nawab Malik and Jayant Patil ji. These are the people who kind of supported me and recognized my talent, and here I am sitting and talking to you.
Yeah, I just want to, one of those names, Nawab Malik, he's having facing some problems in Mumbai, in Bombay, in Maharashtra. Like, could you shed a little bit of light?
I'll tell you something. Mr. Nawab Malik has been the loudest voice against the BJP.
Okay.
And this is accepted by my party also, that he was the loudest voice, talking about all the wrongdoings right from the center to the state about all the BJP functionaries. Now, the best way for them to stop him from exposing them was to muzzle his voice. And what did they do? They, you know, kept hunting for something, and then it sounds like very coincidental, but it's not coincidental, it's very planned. Is that Devendra Fadnavis ji goes on to say that, you know, this land belongs to so and so, so and so, so and so, and after a few days the central agencies come and, you know, question him. You go to somebody's house in the early hours of the morning without giving a summons, without telling anybody like we are coming, and you just ask the person to come to the ED office. There has to be a summons, no? There has to be a notice, give the person a time. And he's a minister, and you give him time. You just go and then you say, okay, now that you are arrested and this has happened. So this is nothing but a setup where they are trying to muzzle his voice. I don't want to say much right now because it's all sub judice matter, but let me tell you something, that there is no sort of truth in the whole case. I can sit with you and explain to you the whole case. It's going to take a long time, but the fact of the matter is that it has been a setup, and we believe in the judiciary of our country, we believe in the law of our country, and the truth will prevail. You know, the truth will come out, and Mr. Malik, what he was doing and what he did not do, everything will be out there in the open for you to see.
When are the Maharashtra elections, the assembly elections now?
Well, another 2.5 years away.
Still another 2.5 years. Okay, so it will be around the time when the Lok Sabha...
See, Lok Sabha will be usually in 24 May. This will happen sometimes October, November. That's
after the Lok Sabha. Yeah. So you all have any plans for the Lok Sabha in Goa? Because this time there was no alliance with the
Well, we are working. Like I said, we are working. It's always good to set goals. You know, sometimes people think that, oh, you're talking big. But there's a difference between talking big and there's a difference in setting a goal. We have certain goals. As time progresses, we will kind of, you know, let you know about what our goals are, and we will work towards those goals.
But last time there was no alliance. Okay, it's an assembly. I mean, the alliance, even with your partner. Did you all have an alliance with the Shiv Sena? I think.
Yes, we did have alliance with Shiv Sena.
Informal alliance.
No, we have a proper alliance with the Shiv Sena.
In Goa?
In Goa. And see, Honorable Pawar Saab has always said that we are open to the idea of like-minded parties coming together.
Okay.
So if like-minded parties that have the similar thoughts, if they come together, we are ready to align with them.
Yeah, but now even this was an assembly, so it's a different matter. But do you think for the Lok Sabha, especially given the fact that the BJP is He's pretty powerful now at the center. So, are you all looking in Goa? I'm talking about Goa, or even maybe in Maharashtra. You are looking for alliances for the Lok Sabha.
Like I just said,
Like-minded.
We are like-minded people.
Like-minded, like Mamta.
Anybody? Yes, like-minded people who have secular thoughts, people who are there to work for the people. These are the people we are willing to align with them.
But you all are. Any work is going on so soon?
See, like I said earlier, if these people want to align with us, certain states we have been, like for Maharashtra, the three parties are together, the NCP, Shiv Sena and Congress, they are like-minded, we are together. In Goa, we work with the Shiv Sena. We are really happy and eager to align.
You all are also in the fray in Manipur and
yes.
Punjab, no?
No, in Manipur we are contesting,
yeah. But on your own?
We are right now on our own, but there are, like I said, if in future somebody comes to joins with us, we are ready to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Now again, let me get back to Panchayat. So Panchayat is not, it's not a party, it's a general sort of a thing. So, are you all planning on something, using this as an opportunity to set up your blocks in various constituencies?
See, now, like, you asked me this question.
I know it's early days, you've just been appointed, but
no,
you have been in
I'll tell you the plan. I'll tell you, there's nothing to hide.
Okay.
When you hide things, you cannot connect with the people.
Okay.
The best way to connect to people is to be honest.
Okay.
And to get to the ground level, to connect to the last person in a constituency, you have to be in the block, you have to be in the panchayat, you have to be in the Zilla Parishad. So we are working on that manner. We will have our cadre assigned to certain areas, certain blocks. All that build-up work is going on right now.
What do you think of the general politics in Goa? What do you feel about all these parties?
I think, honestly speaking,
as a senior politician, you've been in the NCP 15-20 years, I think. So, what do you feel?
When I spoke to the people,
I'm being a disclaimer here. We are pretty confused about what's happening in Goa. So, what is an outside perspective?
Well, the outside perspective is that we are going to do well.
Okay.
Actually, you'll say that, every party or every politician
it has to say that.
So that's your take and that's my take also. No, but the point here is, I'm a grassroots level person.
Correct.
I work at the grassroots. The way I am as an individual. We've been talking the last few hours. When I met the people, we did a couple of sabhas. I did some on-stage sabhas, some private corner meetings, and
which constituency?
We did Naveli.
Okay.
There was a big sabha. We had almost 4,000 people. Rehan Mujawar is a candidate. He's a very good boy, and his constituency. We did a sabha there, public rally, and a lot of people. I'm talking about even a corner meeting like in San Andre. I did a corner meeting. Then we went to TV, and there are places that we were traveling. We went to Veli. Okay, we went
Veli are strong.
Yes, Mr. Philip Neri is very good.
But do you think the tag will not stick?
Well, you know what? It's the work that you do at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
Okay, and I've noticed that about Goa also, that people appreciate candidates who work for them.
It's not so much the ideology.
It's the party matters.
Okay.
Ideology does matter, but the prime importance is the person who has worked for them.
Maybe it's not the party and the ideology is not as important as it probably
I
would be in UP or in
no, I wouldn't say it's not important. Everything actually form together.
Not as important.
But let me put it this way also. Now I'm getting a little political now.
Okay,
let me tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was waiting for you.
There was a name in 2014.
Okay.
And every citizen of our country voted for a name.
Okay.
For a name.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Then they realized that name is not what matters. What matters is the person working for us. Because in the last 8 years, the highest level of unemployment, inflation, price rise, everything has happened, and the name has not been able to help.
Okay.
You understand? And that is, everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, even while voting we make certain mistakes, because it's human tendency. If you have good, you want better. If you are better, you want the best. And if somebody gives you those kind of promises and tries to convince you, for a moment you think, why not try? And that's what the people of our country tried. Now they've realized that at the end of the day, it's the name and the publicity and the aura and you know, the larger than life image does not work. What works at the end of the day is I can go and meet my candidate or my MLA or my, you know, punch, and if he or she works for me. That's what the people have realized, and that's what difference you will see.
Where you think
we have good chances.
Andre also, you're a very young leader.
We have good chances. Veli is one place we have. We have in Naveli we have, you know. So in Nuwe we have good chances, and so there are about 4 or 5 places where we are doing pretty well.
Even so if you don't win, you'll make a
sizable impact. Yes.
Sizable impact.
And let me tell you, we have 13 candidates everywhere.
Okay.
Whether we win or not, we will make a sizable impact. We will get a sizable amount of vote, and people have realized that these are the people that they can look up to in the future. You know, you run a race and you lose, but you do not stop practicing or, you know, continuing to work hard. Maybe in the next election we'll win.
I know in politics you have to sound, but you do sound pretty confident. Lok Sabha, that will help you all in the Lok Sabha also.
You never know. The thing is, like I said, unless you try, how do you know you're going to win or not? Unless you know you're there, you don't know. So we could possibly be contesting in the future, even the Lok Sabha. I mean, nothing can be, you know, said that you cannot do. You know, you have to give it a shot.
Because looks like, at least in this Lok Sabha, it's going to be a lot of parties coming together, like as you said, like-minded. And there are already movement, I think, TMC,
yes.
Pawar, Sharad Pawar is one of the shrewdest political brains, I think, of this century. So I'm sure he is up to something.
No, well, I wouldn't use that word, not because he's my honorable leader, but the man has the political acumen. Which no other politician in this country has.
That's what I'm saying. He's one of the shrewdest political brains that I've seen. Yeah.
His understanding of both politics and political science, I think, is impeccable.
So that means, looks as if the way you're saying that something is brewing on, you know, for Lok Sabha, some sort of alliances probably will come up to take.
We've been very open about it. Okay. We've never hidden that fact. Okay. We have been saying this on all platforms that if like-minded people want to come together, we are ready for it.
But it will happen, you feel? Or it has to happen if you want to put up a competition?
We have to. I mean, at the end of the day, people matter. And if you have to do good for the people and you have to work for the people, then the right-minded people, the right people should come together.
Thanks, Clyde. It was nice. You were pretty open. You were pretty straight out on this, and especially now, let's see, Panchayat elections are coming up, and then the Lok Sabha. So let's see. Hopefully, the NCP will probably, I don't know, put in more effort a little longer in this.
So we'll work hard. We'll work hard. Hard work is the only way you can get ahead in life. That's what I feel. And we'll work. And I'm sure the people of Goa will look at us with a different perspective in the future. And because I assure the people of Goa that we are here to serve them.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And keep watching Goa 365.